Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to run a report for purchase orders and how to import the report. So go ahead and open Celerant. Go ahead and log in. Okay, once it's loaded, you can go to reporting and then hit reporting again in the dropdown. And down here, I made this report, i.e. buyers ordering 2024. So go ahead and click on that one. In here, you want to set your sales date range. So I usually go back a month. So I'm going to do August 1st to September 1st. Hit done. And right here, you can take out any stores that you may not need, but I usually order all locations all on one purchase order. So I'm going to keep all of them in here. Down here, you have all of your fields, your filter points. So you always want to have active items filtered to yes. Otherwise, it's going to bring in all kinds of old products that we don't carry anymore. And then from here, you want to add another filter. You can do this by department, by brand, by vendor, however you're placing the order. So I usually do it by vendor. I want to see everything that the vendor carries. And you can filter for the name of the vendor. Let's find a good example here. Let's do A to Z. Hit OK. So once you have your vendor filtered, you can go ahead and run the report. And it's downloading now. Up here, you'll see a little download pop up. Once that pops up, you can go ahead and open the folder. So right here, this file is the one you just downloaded, and you want to hit this little folder icon. And this will open up the destination of where it's saved. Go ahead and name it, because I don't want to get confused on, send the wrong vendor the wrong purchase order. So go ahead and name it. Sometimes at the beginning of the day, I'll try to run all of my reports and then just go down the list throughout the day and place my, create my orders, whenever I have time throughout the day. At least I have the reports already pulled. So go ahead and minimize Celerant. I need to show you this file you're going to have to open. The buyer's ordering template. This is a macro I made that will kind of format the report so it's easier to read. You have to have this open to be able to run it. And then go ahead and open your A to Z purchase order report that you just made. And I'm going to try to make this screen a little bit bigger so you can see it. Okay, so from here, you want to run the command that will run the macro. That's going to be Control-Shift-S. And it's going to run this macro. Okay, and once it's done, what it did was sort it by brand, then description. So brand, description, and then the attribute, which would be the color or the size. And then you'll have all of your stores listed out by the store number. So Warehouse 1, Independence 2, 3, 4, and so on. Then you have your on hand. That's what they currently have on hand today. The quantity is the column that you're going to put the number in of what you're actually ordering. So let's say you want to get store 5, 10 of these. This is where you're going to type in all your ordering numbers, right? Sold is how many they've sold in that date range that you just created. So from August 1st to September 1st, this is how many that store has sold. And then you got your min max, which I run every morning. It's automatically calculated. You can use that as a reference too if you need to. Model stock is what you guys, the buyers, have put in for, how many the store should be carrying at any given time, regardless of sales. If it's a 999, that means they don't carry it at all. And then you have your PO cost. So you can change this and it will reflect when you import this PO. Makes it a lot easier on the people processing these orders when they come into the warehouse, that the cost is already set, so they don't have to really mess with it. And then you have your case price, or your case quantity. So if something comes in a box and you have to order that many, this column shows you how many come in that box. So you have to order it in this denomination, I guess, right? So we'll go ahead and delete those. So another thing that I do while I'm placing an order is I have my transfer template open as well, because a lot of times you can just transfer items around and you don't have to buy them. It saves the company a lot of money if you can just transfer something around. So let me do that. So right over here, my transfer sheet template. I'm going to open this up. I usually have multiple monitors when I do this, so it's a lot easier. But this is what that looks like. And then I'm going to open my report back up. So if I see something that needs to be transferred, for instance, let's say this one here, it says the warehouse has 16. They come in boxes of 8. And this store sold 7 of them in 30 days, but they only have 5 on hand. So I want to send them a box. So I would just highlight the store, the destination store, all the way up to the brand, and then copy it, Control C. And then over here at brand on your transfer sheet, you're going to hit Control V to paste it. And then you're going to hit this little control button, and you just want to paste the values only, so you don't get that green format color in there as well. And then you want to tell it what store do you want it transferred from. So I want 8 of them sent from the warehouse because there's 8 in a box. So from the warehouse, quantity of 8. And once I'm done filling out this whole sheet, I format this by highlighting all of the columns, double clicking on any in-between column here, as long as you have those 2 arrows. And it kind of formats it to where everything will fit in each cell, and you can still read it all. So that is technically going to change these numbers. Doesn't look like I need to order any. If I want to get more for the warehouse to replace that one I'm sending out, I could put an 8 there. And you're going to move on all the way down this list. So like I said before, it filters it by brand first and then by description. So you can go all the way down. This is a huge PO. Sometimes it takes a long time to get through all this. So as long as you have all the data here, it makes it a hell of a lot faster than having to create this thing in Celerant where you have to search for each individual item, check the quantities on each store, and manually type in for each store what you need. This kind of, saves you a whole lot of time. So for instance, let's say I'm going to get a box of these here. I'm going to get 30 of those. Let's say I'm going to do like 60 of these. It also has this in transit column, which is important. I was going to get 60 for here, but it looks like 60 are already on the way. So I'm going to take that off of there. It also has the on order. So I might already have some of this on a purchase order coming from a different vendor, perhaps. So I'm not going to order any of these. It looks like 30 are already on order. So just for demo purposes, let's just put some numbers in here. Let's say I'm going to get them 15 of these, 15 of these, and let's just say I'm going to get 30 for all these stores here. Okay. I don't really need all that. But once you're done with the entire purchase order, you've done all your transfers that you can do, you have all of your order quantities filled in, you want to format this again and run the second macro. So to do that, you hit Control Shift F, and this will format the whole thing that you just did so that Celerant can read it and have it imported into it. So once you have this format, everything's set, you can import it. You can hit save now on this file. You can get out of it. You don't need your template open anymore. You can close that. And then you want to open Celerant back up. And you can close these reports too. You already ran your report. So to import that file we just made, go to Vendor Management, PO RTV Data Import. And then from here, you want to select the vendor. A to Z is the name of the vendor. Hit search, highlight, hit OK. And then down here, you want to tell Celerant what data is being imported. So you have these 4 options. You're going to want to always choose this last option: barcode, quantity, store, and cost. So those are the 4 bits of data that Celerant's going to read, which is why you have to have that Excel file formatted a certain way. Once you have that selected, hit next. Well, never mind. You have to find the folder or the file first. So go ahead and hit browse. And this is the file, A to Z. Now hit next. And these are your column headers that were on the Excel sheet. You just want to map it to what Celerant needs to read. So they're looking for barcode. So you're going to go to your drop down and you're going to hit barcode, quantity, quantity, store, store, cost, cost. Hit next. And this is everything that's being imported. And as long as you have a 0 here for invalid scans, that means everything was uploaded successful. If you have a number here, that means there might be something wrong with one of the barcodes, perhaps. It couldn't find the item for some reason. It very rarely happens. So, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a 0 there and you have nothing to worry about. You're going to uncheck the print document button here. And then you're going to hit save. And it's going to ask you if you want to open the purchase order. You always want to hit yes. From here, you can name the PO for the warehouse crew just so they know what PO to open. So let's just call this tobacco. Kind of describes it a little bit. Hit find for your buyer. You want to put your name in there because you're the one that created this. In case the warehouse crew has any questions about it, they know who to go to. Down here, they already have your vendor in there. And distribution is the other thing you need to fill out to make this work. So distribution, right here, pre-distro, and you want the entire order to come into the warehouse. So select warehouse. And down here is everything that you imported. So if you need to make any edits or changes, you can always do that. Just double click on the quantity and you can fill in more if you need to, or you can take something off, hit save. And you always have a print PO checkbox. Sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes you do. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and keep it checked, and I'm going to go ahead and save this as a PDF. So hit save and exit. And you always want to use combined PO. This will take the sum of all of those quantities that you ordered for each store, and it'll sum all of it together because the vendor doesn't care, how many go to each store. They just need a total. So that's what this document is. So you got a total of 32 on the banana 5-pack. Even though I ordered, 8, 8, 8, 8, I ordered a bunch for each store. So the vendor just needs to see a total, and that's what this is. So once you hit print, you can save it as a PDF. It'll look just like this. This is what they're going to receive. Or you can print it out. Some of my vendors like to have a picture texted to them. So you could print it out, take a picture of it, and send it to their phone. Either way, this is the document that the vendor is going to get. And that's about it. That is how you would run a report and pretty much place an order. Let me know if you have any questions.